Today I'm going to share with you why I'm so excited about the Sony ZV-1 right after this. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification and leave a comment. Okay, so here's the thing. My normal setup for vlogging is this. So I'm currently using an Osmo Mobile 3 and my smartphone, which has been pretty good, to be honest with you. It gets the job done. It can be a little bit of a distraction in high wind though, because the gimbal can't always compensate. And then there's the issue of noise from the microphone. And whilst it's true you can get microphones for phones, as far as I'm aware, most of them aren't that good and they're quite expensive. And then it just increases the size and the weird looking nature of the thing you're vlogging with, and it just calls attention to you. Okay, so then when it comes to like larger events and things, if I want to vlog, if I want something more of a professional look, then I've been using this, which is my DJI Ronin SC, which is pretty damn big, to be honest with you. And when you put the Sony A6400 on the end of this with a lavalier mic receiver, then it really is quite bulky and again calls a lot of attention to you. And that's not the best thing for vlogging really. You want to blend in, you don't want loads of people staring, you don't want anyone to look at you and think maybe I can nick what he's got. But that aside, mostly I just use this for time lapses. So for a while I've been looking for a camera which was small enough to vlog with, but also big enough on the inside to be able to get the job done. And that's why I'm so excited about the Sony ZV-1. So a little bit of backstory first. About a month ago, I did a really foolish thing. I saw this really lovely looking hill. I was out in the Peak District, and that's kind of a hilly, rocky sort of area in England. It's quite a nice beauty spot, but it's a few thousand square miles. And people do die there. And I went there in a pair of kind of, what can I say, office shoes, a fleece top, and I had no water or food. In fact, well, I did have water and food, but I left it in the car. So I saw this lovely hill and I thought I'd walk to the top of the hill and do some nice time lapse, some images, you know, take some photos, sunsets, things like that. And it was actually higher than I envisioned. So this is how high I actually got. And as you can see, that's quite a view. And I wanted to get there for the sunset. But when I got up, I had to come back down. And I went the wrong way. So I basically went down the path which is more reserved for rock climbers. Now what? An impasse. You can either go up here, where it might just take you to the top again, or you can go along here, where there's just a drop for a good 100 or so feet, with that and the fading light and my flip-flops. Oh shit, I'm going for the crazy route now. With a camera bag with maybe 30-40 pounds worth of gear in it, me being dehydrated, having not drank for 8 hours or 8 all day, I was just a fool. But here's the thing, because I've been vlogging with my phone, I didn't really have any battery power left to call for help. I got halfway down this mountainous hill, if that's not a contradiction in terms, and I became really scared. I was down to 3% on my battery. I bet Jared Polin doesn't have to do this. Never had to do this. Or Tony Northrup for 1 subscriber. Choices. Which is the least? Oh shit. And when I eventually got back to my car, absolutely knackered, some hours later, I had no battery power left, and I used my phone for my sat-nav in my car. And I was several hours drive away from home, and it was some of the worst, most dangerous roads in England at night. No way I could contact anyone for help. So that kind of worried me a little bit and made me kind of realise maybe I need a dedicated vlogging camera. Unfortunately, these cameras are all back ordered right now, and I'm not going to be able to get hold of a Sony ZV-1 for a few weeks. But having said that, I am definitely going to be getting one of these cameras for that very reason, if nothing else. Because vlogging with your phone is all fine and good when you've got power. But even if I attached an external battery, so you'll notice, but well, you might know, but the Osmo 3 does have a capacity where you can charge your phone with it. And I tried that on the day that I got lost up the mountain. But it was so slow and proved to be absolutely unreliable. It just didn't power my phone. It gave me maybe 2% power. It was just rubbish. So, not the best. I think that having at least 50% on your phone is a minimum when you're out and about, and keeping your phone for emergencies and only using it when you need to, especially when you travel really far, is important. So for me personally, that's the main reason why I'm so excited about the Sony ZV-1. Yeah, it comes with a 1-inch sensor, which is obviously going to be a bit better than the tinier sensor. It was a 1/7-inch sensor on my phone. I might be wrong about that. Maths isn't my strong point, nor fractions. But yeah, 1-inch sensor, 20.1 megapixels. Yeah, I won't really be using it for photos. I'll mostly just be using it for vlogging. But the eye detect autofocus, as most of you may already be aware of, in previous Sony cameras such as the A7 IV and the A9 II, will be of a great benefit. I think the bokeh switch is also really nice, and it will be able to you won't have to spend so much time fiddling around with the camera trying to get your settings right when you want to pull your camera out quickly and do some vlogging. The fact that you've got a stack sensor in there as well, similar to what you're getting in the Sony A9 series, is another massive bonus. It means that you'll be able to vlog and you won't get that wibbly wobbly kind of effect going on behind you, or if your face or head is too close to the edge of the frame, your face won't get all distorted. Which brings me into the actual, say, the focal range of this camera. So you're looking at, what is it, f1.8 to let me just check I've got this written down. f1.8 to f2.8, so it's a variable aperture. Not too bad, I suppose. The fact that it's variable is a bit of an issue, but who cares? So 24mm on the wide end. A lot of people have complained about this, and I think it's really silly to complain about this. I call it a feature. Now, when I take landscape shots, I generally will not go beyond 24mm. I can't deal with the distortion, and you can't always fix it in post. The other thing about going really wide on a lens, especially when you're looking at profile shots of human faces, is it distorts the face. So you end up with kind of a long pointed chin, a long nose, kind of an egg-shaped head. It's not very nice. So I generally tend to shoot wider. That's why photographers prefer 85mm portrait lenses, for example. It kind of compresses the face and it gives them a more flattering look. So having 24mm for me isn't an issue. If I want to show people the scene around me, I can still do that. 24mm is enough to show what's going on behind. It makes me look prettier, if that's possible. And it also gives me the option to shoot at 70mm for more of a portrait shot if I really need that as well. The product mode doesn't really interest me too much because when I'm out and about, I'm not likely to be showing you products, although I might be. But to be honest with you, in my A6400, I just switched face detect off. I just put the autofocusing system into like the box mode, and it will work in exactly the same way. So that's not a groundbreaking feature as far as I'm concerned, but it's still useful to have it nonetheless. Image stabilization is something people have spoken about. They've said it's not too reliable, but it's there. And at the end of the day, when you're vlogging, do you want it to look like you're just sitting down with like the landscape moving behind you? Surely a little bit of movement is a good thing. I don't see why you can't have any movement in video at all when you're walking. You know, that sense of motion, I think it helps. So yeah, leave that in. The autofocusing system also seems to be a strength of this camera, with 315 phase detect autofocus points covering 65% of the sensor space. So wonderful. Mostly you'll have the camera up to your face at arm's length anyway, so it's not like you're going to need to have really edge-to-edge sort of focus points like you would in a high-end camera if you want to do sports or wildlife photography, for example. I think the flip screen as well, the fact that it flips to the front and it also protects the screen when you're traveling with it, is another bonus, because the camera is likely going to be in your pocket a lot of the time and you won't want it to scrape against keys. You know, the screen on the back, you won't want it to scrape against keys. You don't want it to get damaged. So having that flip around screen is really good for two reasons. Yeah, it allows you to vlog and set yourself in the screen better, but it also protects the screen when the camera's in your pocket. And the microphone, the fact that you get a dead cat with the device is really nice. And having, obviously I haven't handled the camera yet, but the sound seems really good. So I think, but when you're out and about, just as a quick solution, you don't have to worry about connecting a microphone to it. You don't have to have that extra bulk, that extra thing to get damaged when it's in your pocket, for example, or that extra thing to get lost. The fact that you can just put a dead cat on there, I'm sure will make a world of difference. So for me, going forwards, I'm looking forward to getting hold of the Sony ZV-1. I will do an unboxing and first impressions when I get it. I know there's been a lot of unboxings and first impressions already, but this is going to be an honest kind of user's review. I'm not one of these people who buy something, fall in love with it and don't give an honest review. I will be honest, warts and all. So yeah, I'm excited about this, and given what's happened to me previously, I think that it more than justifies the cost of buying it. So what do you guys think? Are you interested in buying the Sony ZV-1? Do you consider it to be a camera that you could use for photography as well as for videos? Is it something that might replace a camera that you already have? Would you buy the Sony ZV-1 over something like a Sony A6100, for example, which costs a similar amount of money? So yeah, that's it. That's the end of the video. So until next time, get out there, do something interesting and stay safe. I nearly went down then. That was me nearly gone. Foot slipped on a piece of dust on the ground.